When we say the people are suffering, one would have asked, what are the state governments doing with the enormous allocation that is now coming to them? I want to use this opportunity to commend our dear president. He's a very courageous leader. He's a bold and courageous leader. For the first time since 1999, no president has done some foundational restructuring like we have seen with this administration. It takes a man with a great heart like President Bola Tinubu to come into office and fought the system that has held this country down. The fuel subsidy, removal of fuel subsidy. You know, before, one of the statements, very statesmanly statement made by immediate past President Buhari before he died, like his media advisor leaked out, that he said, I am jealous of Bola for taking the bull by the horn, that if he had delayed, that he wanted to remove subsidy, that he started getting all manner of advice that weakened him. But that this one came, Bola Tinubu came and took it headlong. He didn't want people to come and brainwash him and remove the fuel subsidy. Removal of the fuel subsidy and floating of the naira so that we can find the real value of the naira, instead of using our money and fixing rate and say the naira should be 800 without the market forces determining the price. He floated the naira. The outcome is what we are seeing. These are at the macroeconomic level. Now, the money that has been recovered from fuel subsidy is what the state governors are enjoying, because they're getting 5 times what they were getting in the previous administration. Same with the local government areas. Their allocations have moved from point A to point F. What they were getting before now has been 5 times what they were getting before. Now, why is it so? When we say the people are suffering, one would have asked, what are the state governments doing with the enormous allocation that is now coming to them? Whatever any government has done, just oppose it with the money he has been getting. You know, there's been comparison. The time has not come for campaign. When we want to do the campaign, when we get that campaign proper, we will bring out statistics and we begin to question. In every state where we are contesting, it's not just, I'm not speaking just about Tabia State. We will just oppose the allocations that have been received both for state and for local government vis-a-vis what has been done infrastructural wise. And then how has this thing translated to making life easier for our people? Now, I'll give you another instance, because why I said the president has been doing a yeoman's work. When he came in, he inherited over 30 trillion naira debt incurred by ways and means. These are money being printed by central bank to do this thing I'm talking about, you know, pay salaries, do that. Federal government was owing the central bank up to the tune of 30-something trillion naira. In less than 2 years, that money has been paid, fully paid, by the administration of President Bola Tinubu. Now, how did he do that? Because he removed subsidy. People are asking, okay, he removed subsidy, what are you doing with the money? I said over 30 trillion naira. Now, there is this legacy debt being owed to IMF before he came in. Over $3 billion US dollars. Over $3 billion US dollars. He has cleared it. The international airline were at the verge of stopping coming into Nigeria because of over $7 billion that were owed them. President has paid it. Now, between 1960 and now, there was no effort to give students loan. Now, students can accept, if you apply, you get loan to ease, cushion the burden on parents. It has never happened before. Now, by January, you will also see tax reform that has never happened since 1958. The tax reforms, some section of the country were trying to kick against it, and the governor said, no, we are for it.
The president.
Yes, the president has done that. These are foundational restructuring that is taking place in the economy. And so if anybody tells you Bola is not working, that this government, are you aware that when this government took over, Nigeria had $3.something billion in reserve? But today we are talking about 440-something billion US dollars in foreign reserve. Where is the money coming? That is management. It's not being filtered away. And the people are going to see the effect of the economy on the economy at the micro level by second quarter of next year, because there is always gestation period. When you introduce economic policies, there will be gestation period before you begin to see the effect. But at the macro level, IMF is saying at the rate Nigeria is going, that the economy of Nigeria will outpace US and UK economy by 2025 December.
Serious.
This is indication. People say inflation. There is inflation in US. Call your brothers in US. Tell them what is happening. Ask them what is happening. Call your brothers in UK. Ask them what is happening. Every other country is facing inflationary trend. But then, why our system, our people seem to feel nothing is happening? It's because we don't have a functional system. I can assure you, before December 2026, at the health sector, you see a lot of transformation that is ongoing. That Nigeria will be producing their own drugs, not what we're getting from China. People are bringing all manner of junk into the country. There is systematic institutional restructuring that is going on at the in the Ministry of Health that will trickle, that will affect our health status in this country, and so many things that are going on that I may not be able to talk about now. Now, let me bring it down home for you.
Okay.
The Southeast Development Commission that was signed into law by Mr. President was what was promised to the Southeasterners in 1970 when they said no victor, no vanquish. They said they brought out policy of reconstruction, reconciliation, and rehabilitation. Those three R's were never attended to by anybody. It was because of Southeast Development Commission that was signed into law, that was pioneered by our Rep, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie-Kalu. He resurrected that bill in this 10th assembly. It came up in 8th assembly, it failed. The president refused to sign it. The then president refused to sign it. It came up in the 9th assembly, he refused to sign it. Then in the 10th assembly, the deputy speaker resurrected it with some of his colleagues supporting him. That bill was passed and later on was signed assented to by Mr. President. The signing of Southeast Development Commission was what has given birth to all this regional development commission in the 6th geopolitical zone.
Yes.
So kudos to Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie-Kalu. Now, that is part of development. What it means is that outside the federal allocation that goes to the state, there is also federal money fund that is coming to the Regional Development Commission so that each region can develop at their own pace. Now, what has the Southeast done? Again, a step further after the inauguration of the Southeast Development Commission. They went further to inaugurate, or rather institute, Southeast Investment Company, which will be the hub of industrialization of the Southeast, with first expected capital of 450 billion injection into that place. Now, what it means is that Southeast is going to leverage on their people who are international businessmen, who are outside, some multinational organizations, and all that, to come in and invest in Southeast. Some Chinese are already showing interest to come and do monorail in the Southeast. Now think of a monorail that is connecting the whole of the Southeast, and then think of the benefits that will accrue from that. That commerce is easy, movement of goods and services become easier than it is. So a lot of things will come in that in the next 5 years, you see a new Southeast. Thanks to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is what we call governance. Thank you very much. It is difficult to discuss the personality of Right Honorable, His Excellency Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie-Kalu without, first of all, thanking God for giving us an illustrious son like him. You know, right from the 9th Assembly, when he first went to the House of Representatives, the quantum of infrastructural development that came into Bende has never happened before. No House of Rep member, including the person he took over from that spent 12 years, was able to tar one single route in Bende, and I stand to be corrected. Not one single route. But in the 9th Assembly, Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie-Kalu attracted the Mpa erosion ecological challenge that gave us 9-point-something kilometer road, and then a bridge, okay, not just 2 bridges and 1 culvert, totaling about 1.3 billion naira, the biggest contract that came into the federal constituency by his lobbying and negotiation. And so that gave a facelift to Mpa. Before that, people coming home to Mpa park their vehicles at the colony. If you know where the former leprosy colony is, that's where they park their vehicles and now look for Okada that will take them home. But today they can cruise home on a good road and a good bridge. And so the developmental strides of Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie-Kalu cannot be quantified. In his first tenure, every other community had one classroom block, either newly constructed and rehabilitated or renovated, and health centers all over. That was the first time we knew that a House of Rep member could actually lobby to have things done for him in his constituency. And so, in this 10th Assembly, just 10th Assembly alone, as we speak, he has over 100 and something bills in his name in the 10th Assembly. In his name, he doesn't have a match. Now, it's an expo that this day wanted to give him the best House of Rep member for the year 2024. He rejected it. Why did he reject it? He said, no, I cannot be better than my boss. I am a man that respects hierarchy. He said, you have the speaker there, go and give it to the speaker. They said, no, they're looking at what he has done. He said, no, he rejected it because one is a God-fearing person and is very humble. Now, look at the Southeast Development Commission as his baby. Look at the assent the president gave to 2 tertiary institutions in his constituency. It has never happened before that in one legislative year, the sitting president will give assent to 2 tertiary institutions to a particular constituency in appreciation of what he's doing for him and doing for the country. You cannot go to European Union without talking about European Parliament, without talking about Benjamin Okezie-Kalu, Interparliamentary Union. You cannot go to ECOWAS Parliament without talking about Benjamin Kalu. He has done much more without sounding modest. than even the foreign affairs ministers who are charged with marketing the country. Everywhere he goes, he's talking about the country and why investors should come and invest in the country, reassuring them their investment are safe. Now, when he went to Brussels, the last time he went to Brussels, all the European Union representatives in Nigeria came to his office to thank him. What was his message? We are not asking you to come and take our product. We are not exporting to you. Come and invest in Nigeria. Bring those your factories into the country. Take the raw materials here, transform it in this place. Not giving us ace. We do not want your ace anymore. Come and build your factories here and harness the potentials in the country. That was his message. He didn't go begging. He went negotiating with the strength we have. And that is what they are coming. That's the level they are coming now. Every of the European Union is saying, okay, we're coming to invest in the country. Because of the marketing skills and strategies he went to Brussels with. Yeah, it is one man that you can't take away anything from him. Mary Koku went on pilgrimage to Jerusalem. And he called the deputy speaker from there and said, I am before the wedding wall. I want you to tell me what you want me to pray for. I've already prayed for your health, prayed for God's wisdom, and all that. Is there anything you want me to specially pray for? He said he should ask God to give him the enablement to empower the men he has given him. Everybody, I had goosebumps when Mary was recounting this, not from him. That he was expecting him to say, pray for me, this, but he said that God will give him the enablement to empower the men he has given him. You know, when David was running it from Saul, some men, if you like, call them ruffians, joined him. The Bible described them, and some of them that were in debt, men that were rejected by their people, they followed David. But in 2 Samuel, about the chapter 22, these men were now called the mighty men of David. So he asked our principal, he said that God will give him the enablement to build the men around him. As we speak, we have given it, that office has given over 250 people jobs at the federal level, not legislative aids. And he has another 150 as legislative aids in all the southeast states, including outside the southeast. Now, every other day, he is putting people on the board. I am here by virtue of the fact that he is my principal. There are so many other people that are occupying various positions in various parastatal agencies, regional development commissions, by reason of his being there. They are not just Abians. They cut across the 5 states of the southeast and beyond. So he is a maker of men. And people are jealous. When you see anybody criticizing Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, there is only one thing in focus. He is too bright. They hate him because of his unquestionable wisdom and brilliance. There is hardly any subject you will bring up that he doesn't have an insight in. I challenge anybody, call a debate, put 2 of them together, you will see him dusting the person. They dread coming to a debate. We had one last time, and the person ended up by saying, fuck you, and ran away from the studio. It is going to happen again. It's going to happen again. We're going to campaign based on facts, based on figures, and we'll ask them to bring their game up. We want to see what they have. What would they campaign against him? Is it that there is no road in their community that is being asphalted? Let them mention the community. We will tell them what we have done there or what we are doing there. So when the campaign is a lot easier for me. In 2019, we were struggling to campaign. And we had a fight because these other people were campaigning based on their strength, even at the state level. We were campaigning as strangers, and God gave us victory. They went to court. They didn't challenge the victory. They started talking about the change of name. They said they had forged certificate because of the change of name. And then when we finished dealing with that, the last election, the person lost with over 3,000 votes. He went to court. He was not challenging the victory. He was challenging change of name again. The court here said, why are you wasting our time for something that has been adjudicated on before? I mean, so they don't have anything against him. When he stands up to speak, they become afraid. They shiver because they know he's a very organized person. You know, when a man, my bishop will say, when a man is on his assignment, when a man is on his divine appointment, you can't stop him. So he's like the winning horse. There's no changing the winning horse.
All right, sir.